the real one team.
Bring your model to life at mcvproducts.net. Now, one thing you must recognize about model building: everybody makes mistakes. It's not being perfect that makes you a great model builder. It's knowing how to recover from those mistakes that make you a great model builder. And that's what I'm going to cover on this paint job for my Mercedes-Benz. Right now, I'm sanding around my badges to raise them up so I can paint them later. This kit came with 0 decals, so these emblems are very important. Now I got my trusty X-Acto knife, using the back of it to scribe out my panel lines. And I got a confession. This is the first build that I did after my P.O.E passed, and I was a little distracted. And I think that's why I made a lot of those little mistakes. But hopefully by the end of this paint job, I was able to recover. We're going to find out. Now I'm getting that rear spoiler glued on. This is Deluxe Cement by Mr. Hobby. Now I'm adding those bumpers. The bumpers can be a different color, but on this build, everything will be body color. Now I believe everything is glued on. Now as you can see, I was able to raise those badges. Should be easy to paint. Now we start with our sanding. I went from 400, 600, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 6,000 to 12,000. Here are my results after all that wet sanding. This body is officially ready for paint. And you see those lines on the trunk, on the hood. I believe that comes from 2 different types of plastic they use at the factory for making these molds. And that will get me in trouble later. Now I'm testing out this Tamiya primer. It's supposed to be one of the best. I'm heading outside for some night painting. Haven't done this in a while. Finally got some good weather down here in South Florida. Let me speed it up a little bit. We got a lot to cover tonight. Now, before any paint is laid, the body looked incredible. Those lines disappeared. The badges are highlighted. I mean, what more can you ask for? You seen the lines on that hood? I don't. The paint I'm using is Pro Scale paints. This is Mercedes Andor Blue. Authentic Mercedes-Benz color. When I was a kid, I had a Hot Wheels that was Mercedes-Benz, the exact same color. I'm gonna go ahead and get it mixed up. Now this is my first mistake. This leveling thinner should have never been added to this paint. This paint is thin enough. It says from the manufacturer, straight to airbrush, go ahead and shoot the body. I ignored that. And this first coat, that paint was coming out like water. Now this is my third and final coat. Now I don't have any issues with the body. It's pretty solid with this paint. I went ahead and added my panel line accent before I added my clear coat. I'm extremely satisfied with that. So far, so good. Now I'm using my silver gel pen to take care of my badges. And that's when I noticed I had a serious problem. Those lines that were in the plastic, they returned. From what I can gather, the Tamiya primer just did not hold up to that paint and it had a chemical reaction. I blame myself because I didn't do any testing. Normally I always test my paint before I move forward, but this time it didn't happen. But for right now, I'm just gonna take care of the badging. I'll address that later. Besides for the hood, I'm really satisfied how everything is turning out. Maybe I can save the hood with the clear coat. We're gonna find out. But I would never ever use this Tamiya primer with automotive paint. Dust everything off. My clear coat will be master service. Now I did add 1 part leveling thinner to the master service. It's never been an issue. And I didn't have to get too far with the clear coat on the hood to know it's a disaster. I went ahead and threw it in the brake fluid to strip it off. I'll take care of it later, but now it's not the time. Let me get everything else clear coated. I did about a total of 6 coats. This is after 24 hours in the dehydrator. I got a couple spots I need to get out. Nothing unexpected. Now with my wet sanding, I did go down to 2000 grit to deal with those tough spots. Then I went to 3000, 4,000, 6,000, and finally 12,000 grit. And this is after initial wet sanding with the 2,000 grit, setting the tone. As you can see, I went through. For a lot of people, it goes in the stripper. But before you do that, just keep watching. I got a solution for that. And the first thing you do when you go through, just keep wet sanding. Try to avoid that area and making it worse, but just continue what you're doing. This is after 12,000 grit. You can see that shine is coming back. Now I'm going to be using my Meguiar's Scratch X, Wizard's Mystic Cut, Meguiar's Ultra Cut Compound number 105, and Meguiar's Yellow Wax number 26. I love that number 26. Let's start with the Scratch X. That's after the Scratch X. You can see that shine coming back. Now it's time for the Wizards. That's after the Mystic Cut. Now it's time for the Ultra Cut Compound. Now after the Ultra Cut, you can really see that shine coming back. And it's time for Old Faithful. Yellow Wax number 26. Now that's a great paint job, but we have unfinished business right now. And I think y'all know what it is. Right here, this spot, going through that clear coat. First thing you want to do is make sure you take your leftover paint, not wet brush it, but dry brush it, the area that you went through. Now I added 3 coats of paint during the initial paint job. So I got to add 3 coats to this part right here that I need to repair. And this is going to be my 3rd and final coat. See, dry brushing it. That's why I'm wiping it on the paper. Well, I don't want to say dry brushing it, but definitely not a complete wet brush. Thin coats. That's what we're going for here. Now that will lighten up when it dries, so it can be even. Now you're bringing your pledge to seal that paint in. You can't use the 2K clear. You'll strip that paint right off. Use your pledge, your future floor polish, or whatever floor polish you got. That's after drying for 2 hours. Unless I point it out to you, you won't be able to find it with the naked eye. You just seeing it this well because it's under the camera. But that's how you recover from going through the clear coat. And oh yeah, for that other unfinished business, this hood has been completely stripped, resanded, repainted, and re-clear coated. Turned out amazing. Let's see what Master Builder got to say about all this drama going on with this paint job. This is build number 22. Got some great notes so far. Started May 16th, and at times like this when Master Builder is extremely valuable and essential. You write down everything. The good, the bad, the ugly, and you learn from your mistakes. You recover, and don't stay hung up over it. Yeah, I was a little distracted when I first started this build, but I'm a soldier, an Army veteran. Now I got my mind right, back focused. This Mercedes-Benz will be a monster. Watch me work.